Hey there, this is Dr. Perry Camisa and welcome back to our video series. So today's topic is going to be how I got involved with neurofeedback, brain mapping, and how that came to be. So stay tuned, click the like button, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications. Stay tuned for this video. This is a real brain teaser on here, so stay tuned. Well, good afternoon. Welcome back to our video series. This is Dr. Perry Camisa, and today's topic is going to be on how I got involved and how the clinic got involved with neurofeedback, brain mapping, and some photo technology. Oh, that's better. That's easier to see. Okay, so let me just turn this off. So, pretty interesting technology. So, let me share this story with you on how this got started. And so we have to roll back the clock to 2018, in December of 2018, when Dr. Corey and I were in Denver at a conference. And we're walking into the room on a Friday morning. We were one of the first ones there, and this lady was setting up these computers. And I know Dr. Corey's going to remember this, but we were setting up all these. They were setting up all these computers on the right-hand side here, and at the time we just had so much stuff going on in the clinic. I walked by and I went like this, and I said, "I don't know what that is. I don't know, but I don't want any part of that. Whatever that is, I don't want it. I don't want it." So turns out that was neurofeedback and some brain mapping. So anyway, so let me just pause the story there for a second and go back to what no one really realizes what's going on with, our bodies are just amazing at compensating. And you just think about, okay, well, I was taking 3 or 4 naps a week after my morning shift. It wasn't because I wanted to. It was because this had no gas left. When I say no gas, there were points in time where if it was 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and someone was going to ask me a question, it'd be like, lights are on, there's nobody home. So they have to wait till the next day to ask the question, because that's how mentally foggy my brain was. And you don't realize how bad that is, because you just keep plowing through, you just keep going through, and it doesn't matter what you're dealing with, you just keep going forward, and so that was where it was. And I could tell when my brain was getting tired. I could tell when it'd be like, I'm done talking. And so when I would teach seminars, they would always make fun of me. They'd always say, "Oh, Dr. Perry's string is in." Well, what that refers to is, remember those dolls like Bugs Bunny or whatever? You pull the string out, and and the doll or the bunny or whatever would talk. And that was me. It'd be like I could go hardcore, and in about 2.5 hours, I could start to feel like, oh boy, we're getting close. And then I'd be right in mid-sentence, I'd be around the 3-hour mark of teaching, and there could be 15 or 20 people there. And it'd be like, yep, we're done. We're done teaching for the day. And every time I went to a seminar, I was always amazed that someone could talk for 8 hours straight. I didn't have the brain power to do that. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's you at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You just feel like you check out until you go home, and then, or you get home and you have to, check out for a couple hours to get back to life again. I don't know. Everyone's got to deal with it their own way. But that was me from a teaching perspective. That was me from a practicing perspective. I'm a hard worker. I've got a lot of energy, physical energy, just keep going. But when it comes to communicating and talking to patients all day long, well, that's draining. It's brain draining. And that's why I had to take a nap 3 to 4 times a week after my morning shift. So let's go back to the seminar. December of 2018. We're going past all these computers, and I'm going this, we don't want any part of this. And so I find out that they're doing, this is neurofeedback, it's brain mapping. And so I said to the lady, Denise was the lady that runs the company and is running this whole computer setup and stuff. I said, would you be able to map my brain? She said, well, sure. So I'm thinking, I invest a lot in my health, supplement-wise, and bioidentical hormones and peptides and exercise and different things like that, and diet. So I'm thinking, oh, she's going to see one great cookie, one great brain up here, right? That it's in great shape. And the first thing she says to me, and after I do the brain map, it's a 12-minute test, 6 minutes eyes closed, 6 minutes eyes open. It's a pretty simple test. The first thing she says to me is, how much trauma have you had? And I said, well, I had a concussion playing hockey. I can still see the guy coming towards me where I could see him, and then I woke up and they were saying, Perry, how many fingers do you have? And back then, when you got concussed, it'd be like, yeah, how many? 4 fingers? Good, you're on next shift. That's how it was. And 2 car crashes and all the other crap that happens to you when you're a kid. And she said, well, how old are you? And at the time I was 56. Short little lady. She puts her hand on my shoulder and she said, your brain's a lot older than you are. And I'm telling you, it hit me like a bullseye. It hit me like I could have slithered under the door. Because then I go back to my grandfather, my dad's side, diagnosed with Alzheimer's, in an Alzheimer's facility. When you go into a facility and the doors are locked and you can't get out, that's not a good thing. So you see all these assisted living centers. People aren't going in there and running out the back door jumping around. They're going in there for one reason, right? So that's another story, probably another video. But anyways, and I looked at her, and it just was this emotion. And I said, can you help me? And she's a little fire pistol. And she said, well, what the bleep do you think I'm doing here? So anyways, so it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday ordeal, and typically after a weekend I am just like toast for a couple days. And this is intense. We're learning the science of human behavior. And so I had my first treatment on Friday night. And so you have these glasses on that are firing up like this, and you're watching a screen with the computer programming and different things. And it was, about a 30-minute program. And you're just doing this. Well, I woke up Saturday morning, 5:15, in the hotel room, frantically searching for my phone to look for Italian opera. Now you have to understand one thing. I usually don't play music unless I'm at the office working out. Other than that, I don't have music on. In the car, I have, podcasts or different things going on. So I'm looking for Italian opera, and at 5:15 in the morning, I'm laying in bed, cup of coffee, listening to Andre Bocelli. His tears are coming down my eyes. Thinking, what is going on? Something in this noodle of mine, something in my brain got woken up. And it's ironic how things work. God needed me to have this wow moment for my first visit, my first treatment, because there's so many people that need this, and I needed to bring it back. I didn't even know that, but it's ironic how all this turns out. And so I get down in the morning. I couldn't wait to go downstairs and tell her that what was going on, and she said, well, I'm not surprised. Your brain knows exactly what it needs. And so I had 4 treatments that day, or 4 treatments that weekend. I had that Friday night, 2 on Saturday, and 1 on Sunday. And I got home on Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock. I'm sitting in the den, fireplace on, no lights on in the room. I'm sitting in my chair, and I'm wide awake. My brain is fired up. And I'm realizing, wow, this is freaking incredible. Something amazing is taking place. This guy is waking up. It's like doing exercise for the first time. And so and on that Saturday morning, I pulled the trigger on one of the units. It wasn't even a question mark. It was just like kind of how everything happens to me in this life. It's like this inspiration, this divine moment. It was just like there was no question about it. Like, people need this. You need to bring this back to the clinic, because there's hundreds and thousands of patients that need your help, that are struggling. And when I tell my story, I share my story with patients about how this is actually affecting my life. It's changed my life. So let me just tell you how it has. That was December of 2018. Here we are, June 2nd. It's my mom's birthday, by the way. 2020. And so we're a year and a half into this. I probably had 4 naps. My brain capacity has completely changed. My energy levels completely changed. My ability to, one of the most frustrating things for me was I would have the thought and the image up here. I couldn't get it to somebody's ears. As a kid, I had a really bad speech impediment. So trying to communicate that was always a challenge, and I would get very frustrated with that, trying to get what I had in my head to the person's ears so they could understand what I was saying. And a lot of times I'd say, just forget it. I'll just, whatever. Because it got very frustrating. I don't do that anymore. I don't have that issue anymore. And there's lots of different other things, but here we are 18 months post. And so once again, here we are, empowering people to live their best day every day. And the number one thing that empowers people is a better functioning brain. It is the number one thing. It's the thing that drives our entire system. It's the number one thing that drives our entire body. And so empowering people to live their best day every day has to start with this. And so when we brought it back and we started to look at it, and all the work we do with the spine and the regenerative work and the power plate work, and I was like, now we're working on the engine. This is the engine stuff. That's what this stuff does. It works on the engine. And I was so excited, and it was, anyways. So this is another piece of the puzzle, organically developed, yes, to get me back to balance again, to improve my life. By improving my life, I'm improving and empowering you to have a better life. And So, hope this makes some sense to you. This is very dear to me because of family history with this. So, share the video, subscribe to us, like our videos, share them with other people, and stay tuned for the next video. Have a great day.